Welcome to our first e-cooking demo that's been organized by the Indian Cultural Association of the Philippines. And we thank Annapurna, who's been gracious enough to host this cooking demo today. I hope everybody enjoys it. It's a special cooking demo because we're going to be showing you 2 or 3 very, very special recipes on the eve of Ganesh Chaturthi, that's been celebrated across India and with many Indians here in the Philippines. When it comes to Ganesh Chaturthi, one of the most famous sweets or desserts that we talk about or we want to enjoy is the modak. And I personally have never made it at home, and that's why I'm so happy that we are going to be demoing it to you. And we have here Chef Vivek is one of the chefs at Annapurna, the Annapurna Kitchen. He's from Tamil Nadu. We also have Chef Vivek, who is from Uttarakhand. And the good thing about this recipe is that this recipe is a family secret recipe. And it's a recipe that is from one of the founders and partners of Annapurna, Ma'am Vanita. So she has been very kind to share this recipe with all of you. All recipes will be shared on all the social media platforms of ICAP and after the video. So I now hand it over to both the chefs who will show us the modak demo. And of course we will learn a little more about how the modak originated for this recipe. So chef, maybe we can see what are the ingredients. So rice flour. Jaggery. Jaggery basically, jaggery is like it's a raw sugar and it's not always available here, but आजकल in most of the Asian grocery stores it's available. अगर jaggery नहीं है तो हम क्या use कर सकते हैं इसके? There's no jaggery. What can I use instead of jaggery? Sugar, brown sugar, muscovado. So you can always use muscovado, coconut sugar, right? Palm sugar, that's another option. Okay. This is fresh coconut, grated coconut. As you know, it's available in all the fresh markets or the grocery stores. Yes, fresh is the best. We try not to use desiccated here because the taste completely changes.
Cardamom powder.
Cardamom powder. Cardamom is basically green cardamom. I'll show that to you a little later, just for those who have not used it or who are not familiar with it. And this is mostly used in our desserts, but it's also used for our rice dishes and many of our curry dishes. So basically what we've done is we just grinded it. You can use a coffee grinder or just a mortar and pestle and grind it into a powder form. All the exact ingredients is all going to be provided in the recipe later. Okay? And salt. And then we need clarified ghee. Clarified butter or ghee, as the name suggests. Yes. Now one would say, can I use coconut oil? Can I use an alternative? Because I know there are a lot of vegans who do not use animal products. Yes, you can. I think you can use coconut butter, you can use coconut oil. However, the traditional recipe is always with ghee. So we have rice flour, we have jaggery, we have coconut, freshly grated coconut, we have the cardamom, salt, and we have melted ghee. So let's move on to the process of making the modak. So we make the stuffing first. So I don't know if everybody knows, the modak basically has a stuffing and then it's got a crust on top. The first process is the stuffing. So in goes the ghee. Then we put the jaggery. And then we will add water. Basically, we need the jaggery to melt, right? Okay. So make sure the jaggery melts and is blended with the water. This is what will give the sweetness to the dessert and the dish that we are making. And the good thing is that you can, once the modak is ready, you can even fry the modak or you can steam it. Now there is a very nice, I was very interested to know the history behind the modak. How did it originate? Why is it a favorite dessert and sweet dish for Lord Ganesha? And why is it that we always serve it in on these auspicious occasions? So I was reading about it, and I believe it all started when an ancient rishi called Atri and his wife Anusuya invited Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati to their house for a feast. And they started serving them some amazing food, some delicious dishes with lots of textures. Everything was there. However, after eating all of these dishes, Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesha were still not satisfied with their meal. And then Anusuya, she served the modak. And that is when they truly got satisfied. They were full, their tummies were full. And in order to prove that, both of them, I believe, burped. And they burped 21 times. And that is when, they were truly satisfied with their meals. And going forward, that's how the modak originated as being one of a favorite of Lord Ganesha. In fact, on most festivals, and of course Ganesh Chaturthi, ideally 21 modak pieces are served as an offering. Of course, it's also nowadays there are odd numbers that are served, or it depends, but 21 is his favorite number, and that's always served as a bhog or an offering to Lord Ganesha. So now I know something new about the sweet, the dessert, and how the name originated. And so now you see it's already, the jaggery is melted, right? He's just waiting to probably thicken the consistency of the jaggery and the water consistency, kind of make it like a syrup, right? So after that has been nicely melted and the syrup has thickened slightly, in goes the cardamom, just a little bit. We need to make sure we don't put too much cardamom powder because it could become bitter. So we have to be careful with the consistency of the cardamom. And then we put the grated coconut, freshly grated coconut. But of course, if you're in a place where it's not available, you can always use desiccated coconut, ideally unsweetened. Okay, so we want that the coconut should absorb all the water and the jaggery. So I'm sure as we are preparing today's being the eve of Ganesh Chaturthi, I think everybody in their homes are making some delicious dishes. There are so many different kind of dishes from different parts of India. I think every state has their own special dish or dishes that they serve, that they prepare, and everyone is getting ready for this beautiful and auspicious festival. And of course, we are so fortunate that we are out of our home country, but we are still enjoying authentic meals, authentic dishes, authentic sweets. Thanks to our community here, and I hope everybody is also enjoying. Of course, we miss our homes, our hometown, but I'm sure now that everything is available, you know, it's a lot easier. So now you see that the coconut jaggery mixture the coconut has absorbed all the water from the pan, and it's become a little thick. And actually this is really the main ingredients that will go into, this is the filling of the modak. It's very simple actually. If you come to look at it, it's only about 2 or 3 ingredients that you need for the filling, right? So that's ready. You just want to make sure that it's dry. At the same time, you're not burning the coconut. And all the water has been absorbed by the coconut, right? So let's move on to now the next part, which is the crust. Okay, so the next process, once we made the filling, is now we are going to make the outer crust, which is the most important part of the modak also. So for that, as chef said, we need equal portions of water and the flour, right? In this case, we are using rice flour. However, if rice flour is not available, then you can use all-purpose flour, you can use whole wheat flour, atta. There are different recipes that you can follow, but it's primarily the same method. And he's added a little bit of salt in the water. Again, a little bit of ghee, maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons. Let it boil. So once and now you don't need to put it on, you have to show that as well, right? So that you can come, but you're going to be in the thing. So once it has boiled, the water, in goes the rice flour or the flour mixture. Just remember it's equal portions of water and flour. That is pretty easy to remember. And we just need to make sure that this mixture doesn't burn. I think what we're expecting is that it has to be completely mixed and become a little starchy or glutinous in nature, since we're using rice flour. Is it okay? And what's another important thing to note here is the flour becomes thick very quickly because it absorbs all the water. So just ensure you're using a heavy bottom, good quality pan to cook this mixture, right? The last thing you want is it burning without cooking the rice. We don't want raw rice, even though we will be cooking it after this, but we still want it mixed properly, and we want to avoid any burn or burning flavors or textures in our crust, right? So do we still need to keep it on the gas, or we turn it off and then we mix it? Okay. So once it's mixed properly, so we put it in a thali or in a tray. Now, what is our next step?
Not properly.
Okay. So what the Vivek is saying, we're going to add some oil to mix it.
Reduce the heat, but coming properly.
Okay, so what we are doing is we're just mixing it like a dough consistency. It's like any kind of dough consistency. Trying to mix together the oil so that we are also making sure that there are no lumps, right? And it's smooth. Plus, I think we're also trying to bring the glutinous, So we've cooled the mixture a little bit, we've added some oil, and we are going to now mix it in a dough consistency to make it smooth. We don't want any lumps, correct? We don't want any lumps in it.
Almost 2 minutes waiting. 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, so now we need to let the dough rest. Like any dough, once you have mixed it together, you need to let it rest, right? So as per chef, he said don't have to rest it for 30 minutes, maybe about 2 minutes, 3 minutes before we can start the process of making the modak and add enough stuff in it. So we've let now our modak crust mixture or the dough to rest. We've allowed it to rest, and you can cover it with a cling wrap, leave it on for 2, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then the next process is, I guess, making our cute little modak molds.
It's very soft to coming.
Okay, so so basically what chef is doing is he's just taking small balls, adding a little bit of oil or ghee to your hands so to avoid it from sticking, and okay, yeah, so the balls must be very nice and round. There shouldn't be any cracks, and as you see, if we can do it looks very smooth. There are no cracks, there's no bubbles, and basically it's kind of like a dumpling. What is a modak? Modak is a dumpling, really. It's really a dumpling made of rice flour and jaggery, and that later can be fried or steamed. I think every country on this planet has a dumpling recipe, and this is a sweet dumpling, right? So he's basically made a ball, flattened it, and now he's kind of opening it like a little potli or a small, a little basket kind of a thing in order to put our filling. So he's made the filling, he's made a ball out of even our filling, our coconut jaggery filling, and he has turned it into this cute little potli or modak. If I can also try one, chef. There you go. I mean, it looks so difficult and complicated when you see it in these mithai stores or the sweet stores in India, right? But now I really know how it's made. So, of course, mine may not be as perfect as that, but I will still try it. So it's important that you put the ghee. Now that I'm seeing, it's important that you have enough ghee in your hands because the filling is a little dry, right? And that's what may allow these cracks to happen. And you also need to keep the remaining dough covered. So flatten it, doesn't have to be too thin, doesn't have to be too thick. You don't want it breaking at the end of the day. And take a little filling. Not too much. Put it in the middle. Right. Let's see. Mine comes out as nice. Of course, this will take practice. So definitely. Okay? It's not the best and the prettiest, but at least I was able to make one. Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, the offering as per God Ganesha was and is always 21, and the 21 number originates from when he tasted the modak for the first time, and then in order for him to prove his happiness or his fulfillment, that he was finally, his stomach was full and he was happy with the meal, he, along with Lord Shiva, I believe, worked 21 times, and I think that's where the number 21 comes from. But I believe as an offering, during the pujas, it's mostly an odd number that they give to the god, and that's also then enjoyed by all the devotees once the prasad and bhog is being offered. So this is how, as you can see, is the process of the modak, of making the modak. And now I guess after this we need to cook it, because yes, although our jaggery filling is cooked, our glutinous rice crust has come together, but now we need to cook this in order for us to enjoy it, right? So that will be the next step. We are going to cook these, and how we do it is basically we either steam it or we fry it. It depends on your preference. Mostly it's steamed. So we have a steam cooker ready, and we're going to steam this, and then we can enjoy the final modak ready for our Ganesh Chaturthi. And here we have our delicious modak ready for tomorrow's Ganesh Chaturthi, and I hope you all enjoyed this demo of the modak. So our next recipe that we are preparing today is another very healthy and delicious dish that is actually very easy to prepare, and it's prepared mostly on festivities or on when people are fasting in India, and this is basically called sundal, and it's really prepared with chickpeas or any kind of boiled cooked beans, and it's a very easy and quick recipe. You can enjoy it as a light snack, or you can have it as a salad, whatever you choose to do. And there are lots of variations for this. So for this, we of course need boiled soaked chickpeas, ideally overnight, that's been cooked. You could use a combination of black chickpeas, white chickpeas, you could use different kind of beans. And of course, for our tempering or tadka, like we say, we need some oil. If you are vegan, then you can of course use coconut oil or any other oil other than ghee. I'm using coconut oil today. And we need some ginger, just chopped, grated or sliced ginger. We need chilies. You can make it as spicy as you like, depending on your palate. Of course, curry leaves is always essential in this dish, fresh curry leaves. But if you don't have it, you can use dried curry leaves. If you don't have curry leaves, you can even cook it without it. And we do need some mustard, black mustard seeds, they call it rye, some cumin seeds, we have a little bit of hing or asafoetida. This really adds a lot of flavor to the dish, and if you don't have it at home, you can make it without it. And of course, we need grated coconut, again in the dish, salt for seasoning, and at the end we need some coriander for garnish. So let's start preparing this dish. Take a pan and let's add a little bit of the oil. So once the oil is heated, we add our rice seeds, some cumin, a little bit of hing, just very little, otherwise it gets bitter, and of course some curry leaves, as much as you like. And ginger, Just making sure that this doesn't burn. The rice seeds don't burn. You can keep watching. And once this is done, we can add some dry chili or fresh chili, whatever you like. A little bit of green chili as an option. And then our cooked chickpeas. Just ensuring that the chickpeas is not overly cooked. We just want it soft but also whole, right? And I'm going to season it with some salt. As an option, you can also put some chili powder or any other seasoning that you prefer. Some people do add a little bit of turmeric, but that's totally your choice. And once this has come together, that's when you add your coconut, right? You don't have to really cook it, so you can probably just leave it fresh. Once everything has come together, your dish is ready. So you have it here. So once our dish is ready, we can plate it. Yes, first we need to add some coriander for garnish, and you can add some also once you plate it, and your dish is ready to be served. So now we're going to prepare a quick mocktail recipe. That's actually a mocktail or a smoothie, but I call it a Modak mocktail since we are all celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi. I thought we'll do something that you can drink as well, and it's a very healthy drink. It's vegan, and I hope you enjoy it. So what we need is, of course, we need a blender. And I'm using some, you can use fresh coconut milk, cream or cotton. I'm going to add some coconut cream. If you're using coconut cream, then I suggest you can thin it down by using water, or I have some fresh coconut water that I will add. I will put, I'm using kind of the same ingredients that you would use for the mixture or the filling of the modak. So that's how I came up with this recipe, and I thought it was something nice to share. A lot of people use sesame seeds, I think, also in their modak recipe. So that's where I thought I'll use a little bit of tahini paste. Tahini paste is roasted sesame paste that we use in Middle Eastern food. But if you don't have this, not a problem, you can make it without. I just had it with me in my pantry and I thought I'd use it. Just a little bit, again, you need to use very little. This just gives you a little nutty flavor to the smoothie or the mocktail. And instead of jaggery, I'm using dates. I've just soaked my dates in warm water and I've chopped them up, cooked it and chopped them up. So I'm going to use a few spoons. This is about 6 dates, so I think about 3 dates, depending on how sweet you want it. And dates also very good for us. Right? A little bit of the cardamom, green cardamom powder. And I also have some coconut. So I'm also adding some freshly grated coconut, just to give it that little bit of coconut texture. And of course, I need some ice cubes. Now it depends how thick or thin you want it. But if you want a little thicker consistency, then add less water or coconut water. And if you want it slightly thinner, then you can add. You can always add that. There are various different variations. You can add fresh mango to this. You can add fresh strawberry if you like. Pineapple is great. You could even make a chocolate modak mocktail if you wish. So you can really play with the ingredients and make it however you enjoy. So I think that's okay. Let's try it to make sure that it's sweet enough. Okay, and I'm going to get one of these really nice fancy glasses. Let's take this one and pour it into a wine glass, any glass that you use it. For the garnish, I have different options here. I had some stuffed dried fruits, so almond, pistachio can be put on top. And again, this is something that you would garnish your modak with. So I've added some pistachios and almond with some coconut. You could even put some roasted grated coconut for a nice crunch. And if you're making a chocolate mocktail, you can add some cacao nibs or fresh grated coconut chocolate. I have some, so I put that here. And of course, last but not the least, since this is a modak mocktail, I have with me a modak that we prepared earlier in the kitchen. And of course, you can serve it with the drink as is, or you could even try to garnish it. Let's try if it fits on my glass. There you have it, a nice modak mocktail or a smoothie that you can enjoy on this beautiful recipe. So now I'm going to invite Mr. Ramesh to try this modak mocktail that we prepared.
Hi, good evening.
So yes, of course, for you. Now that's a mocktail, but what you can do is you can also add some nice Malibu puff coconut rum if you like it as a cocktail. So let's pour some before Ramesh to have soup.
And say Ganpati Bappa Moria. Mangalamurti Moria. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, perfect. Hi, good evening. On behalf of Indian Cultural Association of Philippines and Annapurna Restaurant, I wish each one of you a happy Ganpati Festival 2020. Stay safe, stay protected, wear your face mask.